If you're a fan of Paul Weller, The Jam or the Style Council, you're going to love what's coming up. A 2-day event is going to be held at the Laithwaite Stadium, the home of Woking Football Club, on the 24th and 25th of June to celebrate the music and influence of the local hero Paul Weller and his groups The Jam and the Style Council. You may remember Nicky Weller ran an event in Brighton last year. Right, I'm here with Nicky. How are you, Nicky?
Hello.
What made you want to do another Jam?
I don't know, must have been mental.
Together with Stuart Deeble, they're going to be curating a series of talks, including Q&As with former bandmates, designers, photographers, people that have worked with the Jam and the Style Council. Nice. There'll also be a classic album playback where Stuart and Joe from the Perpetual Motion radio show will discuss Cafe Blue by the Style Council and the Jam's All Mod Cons, track by track, with a key figure involved with each record. And in the evening, there's going to be music from the fabulous Style Councillors and one of the hottest bands, the Molotovs. If you check my channel, you'll see I featured the Style Councillors when they played at Guildford.
Oh, it's that geezer again. Look, only him.
And Dan Jennings from Desperately Seeking Paul podcast will be MC for the weekend and the main interviewer. There's going to be stalls selling clothing, records, books and merchandise, and there's going to be a scooter ride out. There's going to be more information on that. Go to the website. As an additional bonus to kick off each day before the gates open, lifetime friend of the Wellers, Steve Tufty Carver, will run a special Tufty tour taking in the local haunts. Now, you may know the Tufty tour. I did an episode. It's had thousands of views. And people want to see what Steve can show them. So this is a great opportunity for you to meet Steve and go and see the tour in real life.
Because it's a nice touch.
Oh, what's that? Chair. What's the chair?
Yeah, I'm afraid this is welcome to Woking. So that was Christmas Eve 1976. On the way home, Paul said, that's the last time we play any of them gigs. Me and my friends say this all the time. The stars align. And here we are 45 years later. And the stars are still aligning.
There's going to be food and drink available all day and a chance to meet everyone involved. There's free parking and Woking stations just over a mile away. Here Comes the Weekend is sponsored by Modfather Clothing. You can have a day ticket for £45 or you can do the weekend for 80 quid. The first day is called Solid Bond Day. The doors open at 2:30. There's going to be Q&As with Mick Talbot, Nicky Weller. There's going to be a playback of the album Cafe Blue. And in the evening, you're going to have the Style Councillors and DJ Sunny. On Sunday, be Q&As with Bill Smith, Lawrence Watson, and special guests. There's going to be a classic album playback of All Mod Cons by The Jam. In the evening, there's going to be the Molotovs playing, and there's going to be a DJ suited and booted. This is going to be an epic event. If you're into The Jam, the Style Council, or Paul Weller, why not go along to where he was born and enjoy this event with like-minded fans. Now, while you're here, if you're enjoying this, smash that like button. And if you want to see hours of content that's similar to this, then check out the rest of my channel. What can you see? Well, there's interviews with old school hip-hop artists, there's interviews with electronic musicians.
Exclusively on YouTube, this is the Skyaaz podcast.
Yeah, this summer I went on holiday to the South Coast, to Brighton. And while I was down there, there was a Paul Weller exhibition. There was also a Nick Hayward concert. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to film some of the Paul Weller exhibition. So I did, and I interviewed some of the people behind it. I interviewed well, I think I interviewed three of the staff that were there, and then I went round Brighton filming the shops. There's lots of mod shops, but there's 3 that I've featured in an episode. Met Steve Tufty Carver. Now, Steve Tufty Carver is one of Paul's friends. He was one of his neighbours, and he told me about a tour that he did of November, to be exact. It was the day after my birthday. I was meant to be going to do some filming, and it was cancelled, and I contacted Steve and said, look, Steve, you doing anything today? And he's like, no. And I said, do you fancy, recording some of your Woking tour? And he said, yeah, okay. And we drove around Woking and we just filmed the bits, and it was just all, just good fun. And I think it took about a week to edit, and within a day it had nearly 1,000 views. But to get 10,000 under a week for that particular video was absolutely unbelievable.
The Skyaaz podcast, he's had about 30,000 views. He's got about 300 comments. It's just a success.
It's got quite a few mod-related episodes, Paul Weller, but it's also got some interesting stuff. I tracked down the lead singer of a band called Chumbawamba.
Yeah.
And I want to find out what happened to Chumbawamba, and I find out. Don't you worry about that.
Really? You?
Plus there's stuff on records, vinyl, and other pop culture stuff.
Michael Jackson, Prince, and Whitney Houston died off legal drugs, not street drugs, legal drugs, and they refused to do anything about how they go about prescribing legal drugs to people in America, simply because it makes so much money.
Man Parish.
I had people say, oh man, can you do a record for me? I'll be rich, I'll have a boat, I'll have an airplane, I'll have a yacht. I said, really? He goes, yeah, look at those music videos. I said, dude, that's rented. They lease it for the day. And when you come off of that yacht, the guy's getting on the subway and going back up to the Bronx or out to Brooklyn to his home,
So, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future stuff, and do what's right. Subscribe.
Subscribe to the Skyaaz YouTube channel.
And I will hopefully see you in Woking on the 24th and 25th of June for what I think is going to be an exceptional weekend. Thanks for watching and take care of yourself.